11:47 p.m. My phone explodes cardiac arrest. Male 58, ETA 4 minutes. And minutes means dying means my father and father means the man who said 7 years ago, quote, your sister Victoria is our investment. You're just the backup end. Quote, and backup I became and became so good. I'm now chief of cardiology, ranked top 3 nationally, and nationally means when hearts stop, I'm who they call. And call they did and did for Gerald Vasquez, my father, and father racing toward my ER. Right now, this second heart stopped blood pressure crashing 4 minutes from death. And death, unless I save him and save him, means he owes me everything. And everything starts when those doors open, and open means my mother sees my badge, and badge reads Dr. Elena Vasquez. And Vasquez is the name she hasn't spoken in 7 years, and years of silence ending in 4 minutes. So subscribe now, because now means my mother screams for the best cardiologist and best walks in wearing my face. 7 years ago, they gave Victoria $40,000 for college marketing degree, state school, and school she barely finished, while I got, quote, takeout loans. Elena, state schools are for people like you, end quote. And you meant backup, meant second choice, meant forgotten. So forgotten I became and became invisible, worked 3 jobs, put myself through state university, summa cum laude, then med school, then residency, and residency where I worked 100-hour weeks while Victoria posted Instagram brunches and brunches my parents liked and liked every single photo while my graduation, my med school acceptance, my residency match, all ignored, all invisible and invisible until Victoria's wedding and wedding, where Dad walked her down the aisle in a church with 300 guests, while my wedding and wedding 18 months ago, City Hall 20 people, Dad didn't come and come, he said, quote, Elena, you understand Victoria needs the big moment, you're too practical for that. Anyway, end quote, and anyway meant he chose and chose her again and again and again for 29 years until tonight. And tonight his heart stops and stops. Means I choose and choose if he lives or dies, so dies or lives depends on the next 7 minutes. 4 minutes ago his heart stopped at a restaurant. And restaurant was where celebrating Victoria's promotion assistant marketing manager, 29 years old, 45,000 salary, they toasted with champagne, while I'm pulling 280,000 and thousand they don't know, because no requires asking. And asking requires acknowledging, and acknowledging I exist and exist I do. Top 3 cardiologists nationally, but nationally means nothing when family erased you. So erased 7 years of silence, 7 years, no calls, no visits, no acknowledgement until tonight. 3 minutes ago when ambulance loaded him, and loaded unconscious oxygen mask, BP 70/40, heart rate 20, failing kidneys shutting down, and down means minutes before permanent damage, and damage means vegetable means gone unless best cardiologist saves him, and best is me, and me. They're about to meet because meet happens in 90 seconds when doors burst open. Doors explode open, stretcher flies through my mother running behind, screaming and screaming, someone get the best we need, the best, my husband is dying, get me your chief and chief is me. But me she doesn't know because no requires looking and looking she never did. So did she stops cold when I step forward and forward, wearing scrubs, wearing badge, wearing the name Dr. Elena Vasquez, chief of cardiology and cardiology. Her eyes read then badge, then face again and again, trying to process, trying to understand how the daughter she erased became the chief she's begging for, and for 3 seconds nobody moves. 3 seconds of pure recognition. 3 seconds where 29 years of invisibility detonate in her brain, and brain finally understanding backup became first choice. And choice she's got none, because none means I'm the only one and only one who can save him. So save him I might or might not, and might depends on how I feel in the next 4 minutes. Mrs. Vasquez, I'm Dr. Vasquez, Chief of Cardiology. Your husband suffered massive myocardial infarction. We need to move now and now. She grabs my arm. Not gentle, desperate Elena. Oh my God, Elena, please, you have to save him. And him, she means the man who skipped my med school graduation, who wasn't at my wedding, who said, quote, Elena will be fine, she doesn't need us, Victoria does. End quote. Well, Victoria isn't Chief of Cardiology, is she? Mrs. Vasquez. So, Chief, your begging is me and me. You erased for 7 years, so years of silence and silence. You chose now. You need me now. You're grabbing my arm. Now you're crying. But crying doesn't erase, doesn't undo, doesn't fix 7 years. So years you'll carry forever, but forever starts after I decide. So decide I will in 60 seconds when I walk into that trauma bay where your husband dies or lives based on my hands, my skills, my decision. I page my team call for crash cart, call for cath lab prep. And prep takes 90 seconds and seconds. She's standing there frozen watching me move and move like the surgeon I became. While she celebrated Victoria's mediocrity and mediocrity, she chose over my excellence. So excellence now saves or doesn't, and doesn't is option. She finally understands because understands means power. And power shifted power, transferred power. Now mine, completely and completely, is how thoroughly invisible became indispensable, and indispensable is what I am. So am I going to save him, save the man who erased me, save the father who chose her, save him after 7 years? Silence and silence. He created silence. He demanded silence. He got is what he's about to get, and get is me deciding if his heart restarts. I walk into trauma bay. He's on the table unconscious, coding vitals, crashing. I call for paddles charge to 200 clear shock body jumps. Nothing flatline charge to 300 clear shock again. Nothing still flatline. And flatline means dying, means seconds, means decision. And decision is mine alone, completely, totally. Absolutely mine, and mine is power and power over the man who had power over me for 29 years and years of his choices, his decisions, his control. Well, control just shifted, completely shifted permanently, because permanently is what happens when your heart stops. And stops means you're helpless, means you're dependent, means you need me, and need is what he never thought I'd be. So be I am the only thing between him and death. Charge to 360 maximum power, this is it. Last chance I press paddles to chest, shock hard, body arches, heart monitor spikes, beeps, rhythm returns, pulse returns, life returns and returns, because I chose, and chose to save him, not for him, not for her, not for family, but for me, for the oath I took for the doctor. I became for the woman who doesn't need revenge, because revenge is standing here in this trauma bay, holding the paddles that restarted his heart while he lies there, helpless, dependent, alive, only because the daughter he threw away became the surgeon he needed desperately, and desperately is what they'll feel forever, because forever they'll know, they'll remember, they'll carry that the backup saved them, and saved them after 7 years of erasure. 7 years of silence, 7 years of choosing wrong. He'll live and live with a scar and scar from the surgery, but surgery isn't the scar that matters, because matters is the scar of knowing. Knowing his life depended on the daughter he erased and erased. Daughter saved him anyway. Not because he deserved it, because I'm better, and better is the revenge, living well. Is the revenge becoming the best, is the revenge. And revenge is him waking up tomorrow, seeing my name on the discharge papers, seeing my signature on his prescription, seeing my title Chief of Cardiology, and knowing forever that the daughter he threw away is the daughter who saved his life. So subscribe now, share this everywhere, because everywhere means everyone knows, and knows what happens when you erase someone and someone becomes everything you need. Comment below if you've ever been the backup who became the best, because best is what we are and are forever.